Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we have with us Mayank Yadav. He's a director of product management at Reddit. So let's see what Mayank has to share with us. Hello Mayank, welcome to our channel. Please share something about yourself, how you came to product management.
Oh yeah. Nice. Good to be here. So yeah, thanks for having me. I should share about like what I've been doing. Okay, cool. So quickly, like about me, I've been working as a product manager for about 12 years now. I forgot the time. And yeah, born and raised in India originally. So came to the US for my masters, and that's how I discovered product management back in New York. And the first job was at eBay, so it was pretty exciting work. I was doing international expansion for their fraud products, which was it's a marketplace for buyers and sellers, and there's fraud prevention happening. So my job was to figure out how to launch products in the UK and Germany, which is fun, traveling and learning about the cultures and how things work there. And then I jumped into a startup called Uber. At that time, it was brand new. It was the first 5 PMs there. Super exciting. Spent about a year there. I learned a lot, but plan to take a different route and move to New York after that to join another startup called Handy. It was the marketplace for home services. So pretty early stage at that time. Again, same construct: demand, supply, use technology to solve an operational problem, and build that network of uh, of an ecosystem that can grow and sustain itself. So by this time, I had three marketplaces in under my belt. So I was somehow figuring out, okay, this is what I love, I enjoy. There was business element, there's operations element to it, P&L attached to it. Then, of course, there's building cool products on top of that. So by now, I realized I was enjoying this hustle of earlier stage of product and an intersection of these areas. So my next gig, was very clear I should be around that area. The other thing that actually came to me was primarily I was looking for some more leadership guidance in terms of people I work with should be like sort of way older than me in the profession who I can learn from, can become my mentors. So moved to the Bay Area at that time and joined Facebook. Lovely journey there. Worked in Messenger for some time for international expansion of the Messenger Lite product. A lot of travels there to Indonesia, India, parts of a lot of different cities and countries, and that taught me like how can technology change the world. I saw people selling fish in Indonesia through Messenger, through WhatsApp. Early morning, they'll have the first catch and they post a picture to bring their to attract their customers, and then the customers will send the orders or show up in the market where they go and sell. And it's brilliant what we could do sitting in Menlo Park or sitting in any part of the world and have an impact on the other side. So again, similar to the same idea, I was enjoying that real life element along technology. Anyway, fast forward, marketplace in Facebook was growing, and that brought me into building new verticals for marketplace within Facebook. So if we know Facebook Marketplace, it's a place to buy and sell. Think of eBay but within Facebook, with real identity, real people. So yeah, I was the lead for launching out new verticals in the US, and then build a strategy around that to expand globally. And we were in 15 countries in the last in 3-4 years of my working there. And then I was also brought in to work on e-commerce. Fast forward now, I work at Reddit. I'm a director of product of a similar product, which is brand new. We'll share more of that when we launch it. But so I enjoy this. I enjoy this craziness of a chaotic, unknown challenge where there's only a problem or an idea in some leader's mind, and I come in, create clarity, and build a whole business out of it and scale it in different countries. That's my journey. Live in SF, 2 kids, so very busy. That's about me.
Thank you, Mayank. So, how does a typical day in your life look like?
Typical day. It depends upon the day. I mean, with kids, the days are all um, typical day. So I think, see, the mornings are just busy, dropping kids off and getting ready with my wife. So it's all about that. But professionally, The three kinds of life you can imagine now for someone like me or any PM, I would say. One, if you're traveling, it's different. You take a flight, you go to the office, you meet people, a lot of in-person chats, and that gives me energy. That drives me sort of to go to work every day. So uh, whiteboarding sessions with them, with the team, and so on and so forth. So one is that, like, if it's travel, then it's full of in-person interactions, and I just enjoy that part. Um, then there are days where you're very focused. You're focused on writing. You're focused on. Like, let's say I'll spend 4 days, 4 hours writing in a day. I'll block it out and I'll be more about my thinking process, writing a strategy document or for a review or something. So some days are all about just not meeting people and focusing on writing, and that's also very important. So that's another kind of a day which is like focused on thinking and writing versus just meeting people, because otherwise I'll always keep meeting people. There's no end to it. Engineers, designers, leaders, whatever, like there's no end to it when you are in a complex large organization. And then the third is, I would say, like, there's a lot that happens when you spend time with the team. So I carve out time to meet the team, whether it's in San Francisco or New York. Uh, Meet them, understand what's going on with the team, their challenges, their are they enjoying their work? Help them grow. So yeah, it depends. And sometimes in decision making meetings where we go and have, like, ask the right questions or wrong questions sometimes, and then find a path together with the team towards the destination. So I think it's a combination of multiple things. The ones I just mentioned are some of them. Yeah, it's never. It's no 2 days are same, and there's no playbook for me. I'm not that disciplined about that every day will be A, B, C, D, but at least it's a combination of these things, and I pick them based on the situation.
Great. So, in your long career, you must have faced, gone through different projects. So, which project is memorable for you?
Look, the career is not long. It's just 12, 13 years, 12 years maybe. So I have a long career ahead of me. So I think it's a short career, but it's relative. I get it. Memorable product or see the when you look at the early days of your product management or as a leader or as a builder or anybody, right? Like, there's something that becomes personal, that becomes like, I compare it with when you were back in college, undergrad days. For masters is different. You pick up initiatives that you just live and die for, things like cultural festival, things like hosting a sports event, and you do everything in your power to make it super super exciting and fascinating. The raw energy, forget strategy, is what drives you at that moment, and it just gives you energy from all the other people who are doing the same thing. Anyway, one such product was, I would say Facebook was my best time. I would say, so far, longest time, also the best time. When we first launched our rentals product, it was renting out homes through Facebook. If you're an agent, if you're a large company, if you're a landlord, you can rent out homes through Facebook. And we were launching in new markets at that time, and it was launching in, I think, somewhere in Europe. I forgot which countries there were, but let's say a couple of markets in Europe. I think maybe UK and France. And you know, we committed for 3 countries to launch, and we didn't know how we'll get that. We had no one to work with in the country, because these are not like a messenger product where you sit in your Menlo Park office, you build the product, you press a button, and it goes live to the world. No, you have to. It's a hyper local problem. You have to build the technology for the experience for the users to discover the homes or the cars, or let's say Uber, you have to discover, find the car, press the button, and then magic happens and the car shows up. But where's the car coming from? It's the supply side to it. You have to go to the city, the country, and understand how the business operates there, work with the ecosystem to bring that inventory into your platform. That's like it's your own startup. So going to the UK, France, Germany, understanding the ecosystem, learning about them, learning about the culture, the challenges, the legal battles, not battles, the legal challenges, I would say, and then finding a path to, oh, here is how it should work. Here is how we'll acquire a first 50,000 houses to come to our platform. Here is how we'll get the next 100,000. So I think the building the rentals product at Facebook and growing it internationally was the most memorable, because of the sheer newness of 0 to 1 for me, and the complexity in going to a new country and creating I would say, a supply ecosystem that was not technology first, but I would say operations first. That was new to me. I was coming from Bay Area. You just think technology, but after a point, you have to also think through uh, the business side of it, of how to do things, operations side of it. Sorry. So that gave me multi-dimensional learning in one product, and that's what made it memorable. That's the, I would say, has become the uh, core anchor for my learning from there until now. Like, it has just, that's what I've learned, and I've used that everywhere across the journey since then. So I would say that one. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, what about a challenging project?
Challenging. So this can also be challenging. Let me tell you why. Because it's good to see both parts of the same thing. Because otherwise, it just becomes like, oh, it's all cool, it's all awesome, right? You work for Facebook, you have money, go for it. No, it's not true. It is challenging. Look, you're fighting. Challenge can be of multiple things. Challenge can be the product not doing well. It can be no resourcing. It can be you don't know what to do next, and things like that, right? So it's many many things. So here the challenge is uh, you're Facebook. Why are you doing renting out homes through a platform? So how do you convince your leadership, let's say marketplace leadership or other leadership, that what is success for you if you are doing this? How does it translate into Facebook's value, and how do you keep growing? It's a hard one. It's very hard. So laddering up storytelling, coming up with a narrative that sticks with the leadership, uh, talking to them, understanding their point of view, because there's no right wrong point of view. This is like the naive learning I had in the beginning, where there is something, oh, we should do the right way. There is no right way. There is a way that is mutually understandable and right for the company or for the organization you work for. So I think that was challenging. Navigating leadership, I learned that really well in this job and in this specific project, because it was complex matrixed organization, and it taught me how to think and understand the, let's say, the VP's point of view, push to learn other VP's point of view, come back and reiterate and come up with a strategy that now aligns with overall thinking. Earlier I was like, it'll come to me and I'll just do my job, and that's it. But that's not how you can grow as a leader. So that made it challenging. It was not a passive project where you're given something and do it, but you had to proactively go and think of them as your investors. That's the mindset I created in this process. That they are my investors and I'm the founder. How would I operate? That made it very hard. That's when I had the hard conversation about what not to do, how to get more money slash resourcing, and so on and so forth. I know, like people want execution details of, oh, this is bug happened and all that. It's everywhere on the internet. You can go Google out and figure out like what happens when a metric goes down and what happens when the metric does not move at all that stuff. That's like day-to-day job. Like, I mean, honestly, like a metric goes down, people like we know how to handle that. So I would not say that's challenging. The challenging part now at this level is more about managing expectation, understanding the thinking process. That makes it challenging. Nothing else.
So, you explained a lot about your work. So, can you please tell what are the tools that you use in your day to day work?
Tools. I don't know, man. I just use Google Docs. uh, Look, it depends what your objective is. Like, I don't say like tools are good or bad. It's just objective. What your objective is. If I'm executing, um, let's say we have a project manager who's handling the project, I would not say go use this product or this tool. It's up to them what makes their job easy. They might use an Excel sheet to do project management. They might use Confluence, Jira to do their management. I was loving, by the way, from my perspective, I loved Facebook Workplace, where I used to write my strategy documents and post reviews from my leadership. And it used to get so much visibility and alignment implicitly by people reading it. So, for me, I would say what outcomes are important. What outcomes are important are, do I have a way to make sure whatever we are thinking as a team gets communicated right to the leadership that is up, and also to downstream team that is our team and all other teams, in our organization. It's a hard thing. It's very hard. There's no tool that has nailed it. Tell me one tool and I'll take it right now. There's no one tool. So it's a guerrilla warfare where you have to hit people with different tools, mediums, people, different touch points. So I think it's a game of multiple touch points that helps you win the game of communication. So for me, it has been primarily Google Docs, Facebook Workplace when I was there. I miss it now. Um, Slack, obviously, and then I convert that into a sort of pin it somewhere on Slack so it's visible. But then I would say my general strategy is I do a lot of passive alignment with people. Let's say I'm walking by and I meet a leader, and they ask me a question. I make sure I answer it in a way where one of the points in my mind that I want to land in the next meeting is also covered there. That doesn't mean it'll be a half an hour discussion. So I think it's less tools versus have the right outcomes in mind. Tools are a means to get it, and you will find the right tools. What I would not do is, let me suggest that I'll see a lot of people coming into joining our teams and then saying, "Oh, let's use this tool." I'm like, "Why?" Asana versus Jira. What is this conversation? It's what's right for the engineering team. They are going to use it. You are just suggesting because you think it's cool because in the last job you used it. But who said cool is good? It's not. Good is what makes a team better and it makes a team efficient. So ask the engineering team, ask the project manager, ask the EM what the right tool is for them. We are not project managers. Our job is not to figure out timelines every day and what's going on. No, if you're doing that, it's a wrong job. If a product manager is only looking at I'm saying you should look at it once, sure. Only looking at project timelines and what my ticket is and all that, it's a wrong job you are at. Question your thinking and learning. Our job is to find the right problem. Our job is to find the right opportunity for that problem. Our job is to then find a solution through the team and then help the team execute. For that, find the tool that works for the team, not for you. That's my take. I know it's contrarian. I know it's not the answer you're looking for, but unfortunately, that's what I would do, and I do.
uh, but that's great. There are many people who I agree with you. I know. So, how do you manage challenges in your work life?
Tell me more. What kind of challenge you're talking about?
So, a challenging situation in your office in which there's a disagreement in the group, in the team, and you have a disagreement with the leadership, but you know, in your guts, you know that you are right and you want to convince them.
Of course, like human nature, you always want to convince people. You want yourself to be correct, and it's a human nature. But anyway, to answer your question objectively, I think what I have see the natural instinct is to go with your gut feeling, instinctive answers, and try to defend the point and convince the other person. Whether it's more like a quick reaction, the knee jerk reaction, right, in your mind. And the challenge with that is it's not objective. It's very subjective to how you would react to a certain situation based on a certain person, based on a certain question. That doesn't fly. Um, so I think as I'm learning and interacting and fighting more and learning more from those fights and debates and conversations, the introspective answer really is um, we have to be more objective and figure out and take a step back and listen. Where is the problem? Is the problem with the person not who doesn't want to listen to you? It happens. They just don't want to listen to you. It's a personal problem. Like, as in, okay, I don't want to listen to this person. Whatever I tell, it will never stick. There's something going on in their mind about me, which I don't know. So I have to understand what's going on. If that's, then I will just pause and listen and then somehow meet the person offline, have a coffee chat, build the rapport with the person. And it's generally with leadership because I think with peers, if you and me are working together, it becomes argumentative because I feel, oh, so what? I can fight with him. But I think it's the introspective situation where you're understanding that is it about me and is something going on versus a real problem. So anyway, if that happens, then get a offline coffee, build a trust with the person, and that goes a long way. And it has happened. It happens very very often. Number two is where it's fact driven, that they are questioning based on what they're seeing on the slide or on the document you have shared. That hey, this is a wrong strategy because A, B, C reasons. Now, when someone says that, there's no way I will fight it with just my opinion. I have to use another fact to make a point, and the fact may not be there. Then I make take a different angle. I change the frame of reference. Let's say you're saying the strategy is incorrect because the opportunity size for us to capture. Let's say I'll give you an example. Um, Spotify should not do audio stories for kids because no kids, we don't have evidence to show kids want audio stories. Let's say it's a conversation and I'm the one pitching for audio stories for kids as a product. And you can't fight that because you don't have the number. What do you do now? So one good tactic is you change the frame of reference completely. This is a fair point, but if you look at our Uber goal of the podcast organization, we want to have more kids joining our platform, right? And this will give us a way to start interacting with the parents who want the kids on the platform, uh, who want the kids to listen to the story. So it's not for the kids to come and explore, it's for the parents to come and have a way to show it to their kids. Hence it's a good way. So again, you change the frame of reference from kids as a TAM to the parents as a TAM being total addressable market, and then parents TAM is obviously way bigger than what kids would use by themselves. Hence it's an interesting opportunity to explore versus going after kids who are 10 years and above, and so on and so forth. So my point is, like, there are multiple ways to deflect sometimes, but this one is more change the frame of reference and then uh, try to win the argument if you can. If not, sometimes you have to accept the feedback. It's a feedback. Oh, it's wrong. Oh, you're right. Actually, you're right. Let me go back and think about that. So I feel challenges is is a oh sorry. So I mean, I would say like debates or disagreements are different tools to manage them based on situation. Some are facts driven, some are driven by personal relationship building, some are driven by proactively avoiding them by pre-aligning with the leadership or with the person you think would be the hardest in the room. So yeah, like all those.
Okay, thank you. So now we are in the age of AI. Every day we see news about how companies are using AI in different products, and things are changing rapidly. So, what is your prediction? Like, what does AI in 2030 will look like?
Look, I really don't have no idea because it's just the use cases. The technology is so diverse. The use cases are still emerging. Let me put that. The technology is so fundamental, not diverse, so fundamental that the use cases are still evolving. That's what makes it so exciting. Uh, I I do have one principle that I live with, and which I follow. I think the most, and that goes with the most rightly positioned product in the market in the AI domain is how I feel I connect with it. So Microsoft calls its AI offering as co-pilot. It never says a person, a bard, or a, whatever the names they have come up with. OpenAI has this is, people think they'll replace things, but the right way to frame that and think, I think, is it's a co-pilot. It's an assistant. It's more of will assist you to do your job better versus replace jobs. Uh, that's how I see it. It'll assist me to do my job better, way better, like way better than I would have imagined. Will it write me a product strategy? It can actually. I tried it recently, but trust me, it cannot replace the nuances that I know uh, about my product, about the users. So, but it might help me write a better story for my product narrative, which I again tried. I put 5 points what I know about that area. I told it, please write me a product narrative. Solid answer, man. Loved it. And it gave me 3 drafts. So I'm like, come on, even better. So I feel one is that principled answer. I think it's a co-pilot versus replacing things. People might argue it might replace some assistants, some admins. It might, but they might find something else. They will find ways to use this better to improve their creativity in their field. So anyway, So one is the co-pilot answer is my principle. The second answer is the three layers to to the applications. One is we are seeing the emergence of a large scale infrastructure that has to support that has to be created to support AI. So imagine like you will need more demand. The demand for AWS Azure will keep going up now, but from the AI perspective, because you need the infrastructure to build AI tools on top of it. So you'll see a big change in that cloud offerings where they will become more AI friendly. Plus, have more depth in terms of scaling AI or large language model uh, products on top of them. So one is the infrastructure. That's number one. Number two is you'll see on top of the infrastructure you'll see products like OpenAI. Now they do have a consumer offering, but the actual value prop comes from building a platform to enable others building tools on top of it, right? So OpenAI is one example. There'll be a lot of such products will come out that will become sort of the platform to build products on top of that. Now, within those platforms, you'll say fine, but OpenAI is there. So, what's the next type of platform? If you want to think about next type of platform, think about verticalization of platforms. You'll have platforms like health. Uh, Imagine health of OpenAI of health tech, where you'll have imagine you have if you've read about if you're in biotechnology, you can have a large language model with a very specific depth of information about one field. It could be about genetics. It could be about genetics in human for one specific area. It could be about solving a specific kind of disease, and so on and so forth. So I think for construction of houses, construction or for designing or modeling of interior decoration of your house, where you can put some specification and boom, here comes a nice flavor of your interior decorated in your sort of decoration of what you want to do for your patio, for your backyard. So there'll be verticalization of these platforms on top of which they'll build new experiences. It could be an e-commerce platform tapping on that, and so on and so forth. So one is infrastructure. Second is platform. Within platform, there'll be verticalization that'll be coming soon. And on third, on top of that, is the last one, which is like, it's the applications, the experiences we create on top of it will be, of course, that we hear. We haven't even scratched the surface on that. I think that's where the beauty would be. Uh, as you see, like we just heard the Google launch from Sundar Pichai. It was all about AI. But like, look, they're playing in the first two, like the last two stacks, the platform and the customer application. So you'll see they recently announced an interesting product where you go to Wendy's, you order a burger. You'll be ordering a burger to an AI bot who will understand even the simple. Maybe it's not on your menu. If you have said the same thing to the person who's taking your order, they would have translated that into a real order. For instance, if I say I want cold coffee, let's say coming from India, if it's a bot at Wendy's, they might convert that into a frappuccino. Okay, I think you want frappuccino, and then use that to place an order. That's an application of the model and on an infrastructure. That's an application. So I think we'll see this three layers evolving and emerging in the next 5-6 years. That will take you into 2030. From there, I don't know, man. Then you question replacement versus co-piloting. Um, that I don't know. I have to still think through it.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Mayank. That was a very refreshing perspective that you have given. Many people, it was really amazing. Thank you. So let us come to people who are wanting to enter into the product management field. So, what advice will you have for a new entrant?
Depends where you're coming from. Like if you're coming from if you're a fresh out of school, undergrad, different recommendation for them. Somebody who is coming from a background of engineering, different recommendation for them. Somebody who's coming from a background of like yourself, not let's say have like coming from civil service, a doctor, a lawyer, a rocket scientist, anything that is orthogonal to what people think product managers do. Sales, I had somebody reach out to me about sales. Different recommendation for them. Which one do you want to talk about? Three. I'll give you three options. Pick one, all three.
Okay, let it be a doctor, designer, and a salesperson.
Yeah, so orthogonal fields, sort of, right? I think that, see, now let's talk about the ethos of what we do. We do nothing. It's the easiest thing in the world. Product management, like leadership, is the easiest thing in the world, provided you are a little bit introspective, logical, um, and that's it. That's product management. Like really, unless you are building a hardcore LLM, OpenAI kind of a product, of course you need a very specific skill set for that. I'm not talking about that kind of product management. I'm talking about consumer product management, SaaS product management, which is like very similar. You understand a user problem, come back, think about the strategy, figure out a solution towards it, and go build it. So from that perspective, I feel here's my answer. Someone who's already worked in the industry for some time, it could be anybody, doctor, lawyer, blah, whatever, like anybody, applies to all of them. Go deeper. Go deeper than what you think your actual skill set is. So if you're a lawyer, what drives you? What's your strength? Oh, my strength is legal contracts. Of course it is, sure. Litigation, oh, sure. But what beyond that? And if you keep going deeper, you'll find a strength that is a level of is more fundamental to a human being or a person versus a job. So, for instance, let's take an example of person. When I went deeper with this person, she is good at. She's very diligent. If you give her something, she will make sure it's thorough, very detail oriented, may not be very creative to find the solution. She might, or they might look for paths that always, that has been taken, but a very, very, uh, in fact, very driven in terms of going deeper into a problem versus going wide and figuring out all the options. That's your strength, man. Like I can use that strength to a problem that is super complex. I don't understand. I will use that kind of person to go deep and deploy them there, and they can actually find the right problem within a problem and come out with a winning solution versus someone who is a hustler who will never go that deep into it. Take a doctor. I'm again making it up. Like an example I give to people when they think about problem solving at for in an interview. Think like a doctor. Okay. Example again, Spotify. Spotify growth has stalled in the last two quarters. It is not. I'm making it hypothetical situation. Spotify growth has stalled in the last 2 quarters. How will you react as a product manager? It really happens in a meeting. You are sitting and somebody will give you a number. It's going down, and your question is react on it as a leader. PM is a leader of some sort, right? What a doctor would, what people do. Oh, okay, I think it went down, so maybe I should think about how to bring it up, or maybe something has gone wrong. No, 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 some random thinking process. You know what a doctor does? They have a clear playbook. Okay, I'll first figure out why it went down. I'll look at the symptoms. Okay, what are the symptoms? And symptoms could be, okay, where else it is down? Is it down in geographically down? Is it down based on a platform? They have this structured approach to addressing a problem. Dude, that's their core strength. A sales team, their core strength is building narratives and convincing people. So I think my point is, when people come from this kind of a orthogonal background, go deep and find what your strength is. You need one strength that is connected to product management. Use that and build on top of it to get your job in your interview. Trust me, if you're so honest in your interview, nobody can say no to you. That's it.
Okay. So, how do you manage your personal life and your work life? How do you balance the both?
Look, it's subjective, right? Like I'll give you an answer, but that doesn't apply to a single person. I mean, to somebody who doesn't have kids, or somebody who's fresh out of school and living the life right now. It's very different. So I'm at a stage where I have 2 kids. Me and my wife work. We all work very hard. Same like you and others. We both also work very hard. In that situation, how to manage work-life balance? So that's my construct, my world. um, I don't manage work life balance, and sometimes my life is more than my work, and sometimes my work is more than my life. In a span of 1 month, it's balanced. On a given day, look, if everything is by routine, like yeah, you get up early, you get up at 6:30, and you do your workout if you have to. I mean, you should. I do maybe three times a week, and the kids get up, take care of them, and then you jump into work. The key I've learned after kids that has helped me in somewhat tracking a balance, not even balance, like somehow making it happen is what I would say with the kids and work is, um, like being Indians, we are not used to saying no. That's the worst thing in us. It's a cultural problem. We are like, I don't know, it's coming from colonialism or what, I have no idea, but we can never say no. My dad can never say no. In fact, to a client, he can't ask for money. My dad is lawyer. This is a problem. Like, it's like the no and asking for things for yourself is not a thing. Anyway, with kids, I learned to say no. No to meetings. No to 8 o'clock calls unless it's a CEO or a emergency call, like whatever, 911, for whatever reason. One off is fine. So as I started saying no equal to prioritize better, I was able to get more done while I'm working and give more time to the family and also like enjoy my life better. So I think the one takeaway would be prioritize by saying no to things. That's the key for me, at least this stage in my life, to sort of balance things or rather somehow make it work between work and life.
Okay, so thank you, Mayank. You have shared so much with us, and I'm really grateful that you took out time from your busy schedule, and I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to speaking with you again in future. So
Awesome, man.
thank you once again.
Good chat, dude. Take care.